George Lyon, Liberal Democrat MEP for Scotland. A ban on battery cages due to come into force in January. You and many other people worried that many countries won't meet the deadline. But now a new development in a meeting you've had with the Commission.
That's correct. In approximately 2.5 weeks' time, there's going to be over 50 million eggs are going to be produced illegally in battery cages. We've been deeply concerned that the Commission's not being willing to take these member states on who are refusing to comply with this legislation. At the meeting today, he confirmed that the notification letters are already on their way to these member states, notifying them that they're going to be taken to court. Secondly, his inspection teams are ready to go on the 1st of January to check on every member state to see how many of their producers are currently producing illegally, and he will use that to go to court and get them to comply with the legislation. He also gave us a guarantee that there will be no exemptions, no derogations. Member states will be forced to comply with the legislation that's currently coming into force on the 1st of January, and he's going to take the toughest action possible to make sure that that happens.
So, for example, one of the big concerns up until now has been that our egg producers in the UK, having made these changes, could potentially be undercut by imports from countries that haven't. What does this news mean on that score?
Well, we still have that threat of our producers being undercut, but measures taken by the UK government in conjunction with the big supermarkets will actually help to prevent that happening. The Commissioner has also sought agreement from all the countries who are non-compliant that their eggs must go into manufacturing and not onto the egg market itself. So that should depress prices in these countries. But the important message from today's meeting, of course, is that he is not going to flinch in taking the action that he can within his power at the moment. And that means notifications going to these member states who are non-compliant, followed up by inspection teams going in to raid these countries and check how many producers are non-compliant, and then followed up by court action, which will take some time, but at least there is tough action from the Commission backing up the words that he's used about concern and all the rest of it. We're now at long last seeing the Commission's take some real action to say to these countries, you must comply as soon as possible. No prevarication going to be allowed. You're not going to get any extra concessions by prevaricating, and I think that at least should reassure some of our producers that the Commission's taking it seriously.
So if those inspectors sent by the European Commission find when they go to a particular country they're not meeting this ban on battery egg production, will that automatically then lead to court action by the EU against those countries? Is that what you're expecting?
Well, the notification letters is a notification they are going to be taken to court. The inspections are to get evidence to present to the court. So that's the two actions that are needed to kick the court action off. It still will take some time, but I think the signal it will send to these countries is you better get serious and start complying, or else you are going to land up in court and you'll be forced to do it, or else forced to destroy these eggs.
And how do you think this will go down with producers in Scotland, in other parts of the UK that as we've said, they have invested a lot of money themselves to comply?
Well, they'll welcome it as a step forward. Clearly, we would like them maybe to go further and put in place a complete intra-trade ban. He doesn't have the legal platform to do that. There's no legislation that allows him to do that. But at least he's sending out a very strong signal that he is absolutely determined to ensure that countries who are non-compliant will be forced to do as quickly as possible, and they will not be rewarded for failure. And I think that's very, very important.